Jenni and Koke AI can write a literature review, a research paper. Basically, we are very similar tools. However, Jenni is very well established. Everyone knows Jenni, and Koke AI is a new kid on the block. So let's compare them. Is Koke AI actually better than Jenni? You know what? I think it is better for certain use cases. So let me show you when you should use Koke rather than Jenni. Both Koke AI and Jenni have a free plan, although Koke clearly doesn't advertise it. So you don't really know what are the limitations of a free plan, and hence Jenni is far better if you don't want to pay, because at least you know the limits. But what about the paid plans? So Koke AI is for $28 a month, which, to be honest, is expensive, but Jenni is for $30. However, I do have a 20% discount for Jenni, which will bring you down to $24 a month. So Jenni will come a little bit cheaper than Koke. When it comes to writing, they both have quite similar interfaces. So you just need to write your prompt here in the Koke AI, and it will tell you whether the prompt is weak or strong. And the same here with Jenni AI, exactly the same thing. And with Jenni, you can set your headings to standard or smart, and then here you can pick your citation style, and also you can filter the papers potentially. But let's just leave this as is. Koke AI has few more features, so you can select the type of a document, so a literature review, academic paper, and so on. And you can also select the length, so below 10,000 to 50,000, or above 50,000 words. To be honest, I think that above 50,000 words is a complete overkill, because I can't imagine how often would you write a literature review that is above 50,000 words. I've never seen one, to be honest, and even my own PhD thesis was about that length in total. So I don't think you would use it to write a whole PhD thesis. So I think this is an overkill, but it's still quite useful to have a distinction below 10,000 and above 10,000 words. And then when you jump to outline template, you can basically just pick the citation style here, right? So now let's look at an actual document. So these are two literature reviews. I used exactly the same prompt to generate them. And as you can see, the first section here, the introduction, is populated. I have asked Jenni to populate it, and then we have all of these subheadings, which are very useful because, well, they tell you what to write about. But when you jump to Koke, it goes as one step further ahead, because now you have these subheadings, but under each subheading it tells you what to do. So there you go, discuss, blah, 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 compare and contrast, blah, blah, blah. So this is actually very useful, but there is one major difference between them. When you look at your Jenni AI, you have all of these references everywhere here, which looks great. And on the other hand, with Koke, there are no references at all. Now, there is a caveat to this. So these references, all of these Davies, Galupa, and so on, they are actually, unfortunately, their PhD thesis. You don't really want to cite PhD thesis. You want to cite research articles. So, you know, even though they are correct, you don't really want to cite them. So this is not that useful, unfortunately. On the other hand, you don't have any references with Koke AI at first sight at all. But if you select some text, right, you get this option cite, and then it starts giving you potential references. Now you can see that this is a very long list. So actually the first one is actually a research article. I am aware of that paper. But then as I scroll down, this is a review. So you will have lots of work to do here to actually look through these references and find the appropriate ones. I would assume that probably, you know, a good chunk of them are appropriate for general statements, but you will never know exactly which reference is correct. So again, both of these tools give you a great start. They tell you what to write about, they give you ideas. When it comes to references, they both disappoint. If you do decide to use one of these tools, you could potentially reverse engineer the references. And there are tools for that. The free tool would be DeepSeek, so I'm gonna leave a link to my video in the description down below. If DeepSeek doesn't work for you, you could use Sourcely AI, which is a paid platform, but it works very well for reverse engineering references, reverse finding them. So altogether, if I was going to use a free plan, I would go with Jenni, because you know the limitations, you know what you can do every day. If I was going to pay, I think I would go with Koke AI because of two reasons. First of all, it tells me what to write under each paragraph. and then it gives me somewhat useful references. I mean, they're not great, but I do have quite a few of them here. Some of them are research papers, some of them are reviews, and I can at least explore and find something that is useful. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.